In this video, we'll look at how to sketch and find the equation of a polynomial given its zeros and a point. So the zeros we're given are -1, 0, 0, 0, and 2, or -1, 0, and 2. Those are the zeros. And we're given a point that's on the polynomial as well, -4, 216. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a nice sketch. When I talk about sketches, there's really only a few things I really want you to do. Oh, that looks lousy. Let's fix that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be more or less straight. And when you're sketching, you don't have to make a nice graph, but you do have to do two things. Put arrows on the axes and label them, the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay. We got a 0 at -1, so that's about here. We're estimating. You can label it -1 if you want. That's a 0. We got another one at 0. And then approximately to scale, here's one out here at 2. And we need to figure out how to sketch it, but we don't know its equation yet. So let's figure out its equation and come back to the sketch. Can't really sketch it till we have an idea of what the equation is. You'll see why. So our equation is going to be y equals, and we'll put each of the zeros in factors form. What I mean is the factor that corresponds with -1 as a 0 would be x plus 1. That factor makes this 0. What would be the factor that makes 0? What x would you have to put? Just x. The x take away nothing, leaves nothing. That's why this is one of the factors and a 0. Here, look at this one. This is 2. So what would you have to make it so that if you subbed in a 0, you'd get 0? The corresponding factor is x minus 2. Sub this in, you get a 0. Sub this in, you get a 0. Sub this in, you get a 0. So our equation looks like it's almost done. The problem is we don't know the a value, the stretch. So I just wrote in an a there. And what we're going to do now is sub in the point, sub in that we're given, -4, 216. You can't sub in one of the zeros again. You already used that for the factors. So you got to sub in another point. This 216 is the y. And we're going to solve for the a value by using this -4 as the x. So -4 plus 1, and just -4, and then -4 take away 2. So we get 216 equals a times, you can use a calculator or in your head, -4 plus 1 is -3, just -4, and -4 minus 2 is -6. Let's rewrite the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you can do it in your head. I'm going to use a calculator. -3 times -4 times -6 gives -72. 3 negatives make a negative. So you get a times -72. The last step is to get a by itself. It's being multiplied by -72. So we're going to divide both sides with a nice straight division line. We'll divide both sides by -72. -72 divided by -72 leaves a, which is what we want. And 216 divided by -72 gives -3. Now we know the stretch value is -3. So the equation is y equals, remember I haven't actually finished stating the equation yet. The equation is, use my a value, -3, and I've got x plus 1, x, and x minus 2. I'm going to put the x in front so I can get rid of its brackets. It's just -3 times x is just -3x times x plus 1 times x minus 2. Here are my three factors corresponding to my zeros, and here's my stretch of -3. The reason getting that equation was useful, other than I asked you to do it, was now I know how to sketch it. That is, I knew the zeros, but this stretch value is also the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient in a polynomial tells me its general shape. I know it's a cubic, because it has 3 zeros. And since the leading coefficient is negative, I know it starts up here and ends down here. So go down to this 0. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should look like a cubic. Cross through that 0. Come up through the other one. We don't really know how high. It's just a sketch. It might go all the way up to here. It might go even higher. We don't know. But right now we're just sketching. And there it is. So what did we do in this video? We tried to sketch, but we couldn't till we had the equation. So we found the equation by using the factors corresponding to the zeros, subbed in the other point we were given, and solved for the stretch value, the a value. That gave us the equation, and that a value in the equation told us the leading coefficient, which let us draw its general shape. Might not have known it was cubic either, but now we do, though it's pretty obvious. And there you have it. We're all done.